Hi, my name is Sylvie. I am a certified health coach and fitness trainer, and today's video is a quick but intense stretch for back flexibility. This back flexibility routine will be perfect for those days where you don't want to spend 30 minutes working on your back flexibility and you'd like to tack a 15-minute session to maybe your morning workout or to boost your energy in the afternoon. This will be the session for you. We're going to get started with the pigeon pose. And if you are just starting, you may need a yoga block. And what you'll do is that you'll bring your right leg in front of you and you'll sit on a yoga block, just like so, because you want to be keeping your hips facing forward. And when you lack the flexibility, it's very difficult to sit like that and not lose your balance. So you may need to do that. But if you're a little bit more advanced, you can let go of the yoga block and you're going to sit like that. And now there's different levels that you're going to take. What I love about the pigeon pose is that not only it helps you increase your inner hip flexibility, your psoas flexibility, your quad flexibility, but also your back flexibility, because as you cinch your waist here, you can really start feeling it in your back because you're lifting up through your chest. You're cinching your waist, which means you're pressing your belly button against your spine, and you should really start feeling it in your back as you stretch this way. And then as you open up and with practice, with time, you'll be able to take your foot in your hand like that, and you'll feel it even more in your back when you start doing that. And then you can even take your foot in your elbow joint. And then, since this session is all about being quick and effective, again, there's a next level that you can take to work your shoulders as well, because when you work on your back flexibility and the wheel, you need some shoulder flexibility. So you're going to use a strap and wrap it around your foot, and then you can stretch your shoulders. This is when you'll really start feeling it in your back. So breathe into your stretch. Now we can switch side. Take your left leg in front and you're going to do the exact same thing we just did. You can move a little bit in your stretch from side to side. You move your hips and see how it feels in your quad. And get that strap. And obviously, if you need to just stay with your legs straight, your back leg straight, you're not ready to stretch your quad yet, that's fine. You move at your own pace. And the more you do this stretching routine, the more you'll be able to increase your flexibility and move on to the next level. helps to keep some energy in your right quad and your left leg. You move up and down a little bit and you move into it. Next, we're gonna get into the Cobra Pose, but you can also do the Sphinx if you're not flexible enough for the Cobra. So I'll start by showing you the Sphinx. The Sphinx is just like that. So depending on your back flexibility, you may just have to stay like this for a while and you may feel it like that, or you can even lift up your elbows and see how that feels. But then as you get more flexible, you'll be able to get into the Cobra. And to get in the Cobra, you're gonna bring your hands under your armpits and then you're just gonna lift up. Keep the top of your feet on the mat. Lift through your chest. Cinch your waist, tuck in your chin slightly. We're gonna stay here for about a minute. I often tell you in during these sessions that you should listen to music when you stretch. Listen to something you enjoy and just follow along using the video to time your stretches more than anything else. Lower down slowly. Next, we're gonna work on the bow pose. And again, just like when we did pigeon, you'll see that there's different variations. And you can also stretch your shoulders when we're doing this with one of the variations. So we're going to start with the easier one. If you're a beginner, you can simply lift up your right leg, grab it with your right hand, and stretch like that. See how that feels. Another option is you're going to do both at once. You're going to do both feet at once. And as you inhale, you're going to press your feet against your hands and lift up. I'm going to stay here for a few breaths and then I'll show you the next variation. With the next variation, you're going to need your strap, and again, you can start with only one leg. So you can wrap your strap around your right foot, and then you can play around with that. Start stretching your shoulder and see how that feels. Or you can wrap your both feet with your strap. And again, as you inhale, you can lift up and press. Next, we're going to get into camel pose. Get on all four, then up onto your knees, and you can start with doing camel only on one side, and you can also keep your toes tucked in so that you don't have to get as low to touch your heels. But if you go like this, this is a good way for beginners, and you just go from side to side, feeling the stretch. Once you become more flexible, you're going to just stay here. And when you're even more advanced, you can untuck your toes. And that's what we're gonna do for about a minute. Anytime you're stretching your back, you feel the front stretch as well. And thinking about cinching your waist is helpful. So basically you're going to breathe in. You feel your belly button pushing towards your spine. But then as you exhale, you're keeping that cinching of your waist. Sit down. Okay, so now comes the fun part of this back flexibility routine, and it's our wheel. I have a few stretches that we're going to do using the wheel. I find that the wheel is definitely the best pose to gain back flexibility. Now the wheel is hard, particularly if you're a beginner, and you don't have to go through all the exercises whenever you do that routine. You can move gradually and start including more and more of those wheel exercises, and you can have some days where you do them all, you can have some days where you don't do them all. It's just a matter of learning and growing in your practice. So I'm just going to start with a regular wheel, move on to wheel push-ups, and then we're going to learn the one-legged wheel. If you're a beginner, you can start with just one wheel, then you can do 2 wheels, do 3 wheels. And one thing that you'll quickly notice is that from the first wheel to the third wheel, you are already a lot more flexible. That's why I'm a firm believer that using the wheel to increase your back flexibility is incredible. I mean, most of the times I do a 30-minute stretching routine before I get in the wheel, and still I feel a huge difference from my first wheel to my third wheel. So there you go. Let's get started with our first wheel. Whenever you want to get in the wheel, it's helpful to start by pressing up through your heels. See if you can graze your heels with your fingertips. Then bring your hands on the side of your head. Lift to the crown of your head, and you can readjust your hands. Make sure your elbows are not flaring out when you lift up. And then lift up. And also, to decide how long you're going to stay there, count your breaths. And then you can exhale and get deeper through your chest. You can do that 5 times. Four. And 5. Lower down slowly. And particularly when you're just starting, you'll find that you need a good break in between wheels, and you can always pause the video if you want a longer break. But now I'm gonna get into wheel push-ups, which is a great little exercise that I learned recently, and it's just something different to try. We're gonna do 5 of those, and you're gonna start the same way we started with the wheel, but you're gonna position your hands, lift up, that's 1, and then you're gonna lower down right away, and then 2, 3, 4, and then 5. And most likely you noticed a difference. You noticed that you could get deeper in your wheel already. The next thing I wanted to try with you is the one-legged wheel, but the one-legged wheel is very advanced and I can't do it, so I use a wall to help me out with that. So you can do the same, and I'm gonna get closer here to my deck railing because that's what I'm gonna be using for the support. Lift up to the crown of your head. And now what you're gonna do is shift your weight onto your left foot so that you can lift up the right foot, and then you can use the wall for support, just like I'm doing. You stay there for a little bit, and then you can lower it down slowly. Usually I actually bring my foot back down before I lower my body, but it's kind of tricky with the railing because there's spaces, so I wasn't sure where to feel to not put my foot in the hole. So we'll try that again with the other foot. Gonna lower slowly, just feeling the railing, and then lower down. Now that's a great back stretch. I hope you enjoyed this routine, and as I said, use this frequently, maybe tack it on to the end of your workouts, and you'll see great back flexibility gains.